Alright, so I wanted to discuss something that has been on my mind a lot lately, and this is the topic of overanalyzing absolutely everything. And I know a lot of people talk about this, but I just kind of wanted to put my own little spin on it. And you know, you can look into certain things such as, you know, the proliferation of information on the internet and how you can get information overload and blah blah blah, but what I really want to talk about is the overanalyzing of just specifically your lifts. So I guess I work with quite a few people, and a lot of them obviously want to get help with their form from me, and that's completely cool. Obviously you should be using proper form with, you know, exercises like squat, deadlift, overhead press, and bench. But the problem kind of comes in when you have people who are constantly overanalyzing their lifts and making changes to it, and you know, doing that over an extended period of time, which compounds and makes it so that you're basically spinning in circles longer and longer and longer. So I guess what I want to say is, when you're lifting, your form should be as good as it needs to be to make it so that you aren't hurting yourself. There's no such thing as perfect form. There was a really good article, I think by Greg Nuckols, on Juggernaut Strength Training. I'll try and link that up, where he talks about there's no such thing as perfect form, and there isn't. I talked about this before in another video when I talked about how you know, two people can perform the same exercise and both their form is absolutely perfect, but to the naked eye it's going to look completely different. There comes a point where, you know, sometimes you do need to troubleshoot your lift and maybe add a new cue to help you get stronger and stronger, but at the same time you need to focus just on getting strong. Like, technique has a large part of it, but if you want to get strong, you need to just get strong. You know, you're not gonna take your deadlift from 300 to 400 pounds just by, or maybe that's a bad example, let's make it a little more advanced. You're not gonna take it from 400 to 500 pounds just because you know, you saw Konstantin Konstantinov's do a round back and you decide to do a round back deadlift. You're not gonna add 100 pounds to your deadlift like this. You know, little cues and stuff, they're going to help you over time with kind of ingraining those new movement patterns that you want to add to your lift. But, you know, when it comes down to it, if you're just trying to get strong, you need to just get stronger. That means you need to basically increase your muscle mass or the efficiency of your neuromuscular system. So, you know, having your ability to recruit more muscle and blah 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 and all that kind of stuff comes with just training, just getting stronger. You know, if you hear guys at like the very top, you know, like Milanichev and Dan Green and all those guys, you know, they're all masters of the form. But, you know, if you talk to a guy like Dan Green, who basically over like 2 or 3 years he added 200 pounds to his squat, and the thing that he attributes most to that is just gaining weight and gaining muscle, because he was like, you know, I know my squat needed to be higher if I want to compete on a larger scale, so I gained muscle. So he got bigger and he got stronger. For me, I'm kind of a no excuses kind of guy in certain ways. If I go to the gym, and this is just me, this is different for certain clients, but for me, if I go, I'm fasted for 18, 20 hours, I don't care. It doesn't make a difference in the gym. If I have a good workout, I have a good workout, and that's because I had a good workout. If I had a bad workout, I had a bad workout, and it's because I had a bad workout. It's not because I didn't get enough sleep. You know, I usually always get the same amount of sleep. It's not because I'm fasted. It's not because I ran to catch a bus the day before. It's not because you know, I'm sore from three days earlier. Like, for me, you know, that's part of the game. If you want to get stronger, you're gonna have to live with not being in an optimal environment at all times. I mean, yeah, sometimes it's gonna be perfect. You know, all your meals are gonna be planned out perfectly. You're going to get 8 hours of sleep and tons of rest, and you're gonna feel nice and fresh. And you know, that might happen after a deload, and that's the point of a deload. But you know, if you're doing multiple weeks over and over again, you're not going to be going into each workout at 100% rest or 100% recovery. I guess the way to kind of look at your own training and figure when do you need to just get stronger and when do you need help with your form. Well, you know, getting good at your form takes a long period of time, but you know, getting actually strong takes way longer. So, you know, at the beginning of your program, depending on how the program's laid out, you know, you should have a lot lighter weights and hopefully more volume. This depending on what kind of program you're on, but I'm just giving an example. You know, use those lighter weeks to really iron out any kind of issues you're having with form. And then, you know, once you get better and more used to it, I mean, you're not going to look at your thing and be like, I have a perfect squat, I have a perfect deadlift, I have a perfect bench. No, you're not. It's not going to look perfect, and that's fine. But there comes a point where you just need to stop focusing about all that stuff and just lift the fucking bar as fast as you can for as many reps as you can, or whatever your program calls for, and just make gains. Like, seriously, just make gains and stop worrying about fucking everything being perfect for you in order for you to lift. And don't make excuses why, you know, you didn't set a PR here. Just, you know, if you don't set a PR, it's not the end of the fucking world. You're gonna fucking be able to train the next week and you're gonna be perfectly fine. And, you know, like I've been talking about with some of my other subscribers, you know, you gotta have a short memory. Just you know, forget about it, move on to the next week, and keep crushing it. I mean, it's that simple. Don't dwell on things and don't make excuses. And anyways, yeah, that's all I have to say. Deuces.